It was once the capital of online fitness.
Bodybuilding.com.
A $500 million empire. The launchpad for legends like 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗃 and Steve Cook. Bodybuilding.com didn't just sell protein, it built the culture. But today, the forums are gone. The brand a shadow of its former self. And most of Gen Z doesn't even know it existed. So what happened? Was it the FBI raids? The deranged members? The wild forums that spiraled out of control? This is the rise and fall of the greatest fitness empire the internet has ever seen. It all started with a teenager and a bold vision. The year was 1995. The internet, still called cyberspace, was just beginning to buzz.
But it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
17-year-old Ryan 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗆 was an aspiring bodybuilder. He spent his days flipping through muscle magazines, chasing gains and chasing answers. And one supplement kept popping up: creatine, the fitness world's new obsession.
Research showed that creatine increased muscle performance by over 8%.
But there was just one problem. You could buy it from the mall, but it could cost almost $100 a month, money most teenagers didn't have. So Ryan had an idea to buy the creatine in bulk and sell it online under the website
wholesalecreatine.com.
But the internet was still considered a bunch of hype to most.
I'm afraid that if I subscribed to something like internet, I would get hooked and I would never, spend time with my family.
So after no sign of any orders, he went to check the PO box one last time, and there was one piece of mail. It said, "There's so much mail for you. It's in a bag in the back." Each month, the business grew. Word was spreading. Ryan was fulfilling orders from his bedroom, packing boxes by hand. But he wasn't just trying to sell creatine. The vision was far greater. He wanted to build something that didn't exist yet, a one-stop shop for everything fitness. Not just supplements, but information, community, and identity. So he took a massive risk. At just 21 years old, he spent $20,000, his life savings, on a new domain name, bodybuilding.com. And with that bold move, he set out to build the supplement empire of the future. Now, the competition in the supplement industry was fierce, but he didn't see it that way.
We don't lose most of our customers to Amazon. We lose most people to the couch.
The obsession was doing what he could to help people become their best selves through bodybuilding. Each month, the team was expanding, and the business was growing, while bodybuilding.com was making a real impact on its fans.
What's up, everyone? 𝗕𝗪𝗁 here. And today I'm going to start my cutting phase after a wildly successful 25-year bulking phase.
I just cannot believe the outpouring of support from my son. You're actually saving my son's life.
From the incredible shrinking man to the wheelchair bodybuilder.
It doesn't matter if my glass is half empty or half full. I'm just grateful that I have a glass.
Bodybuilding.com didn't just sell supplements, it inspired transformations.
Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there.
The before and afters went viral, racking up millions of views. But at the core of it all was one place, the forum. It would become the beating heart of the brand, uniting lifters across the world. Before the FBI raids, the trolls, and the fall of a digital empire, there was something sacred about logging in. While the forums gave lifters a voice, 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗆𝗆, the sponsor of this video, make sure you can still hear yours. In-ear headphones either make it hard to hear, or the transparency mode relies on the microphone, which isn't always accurate. This is why in-ear headphones are banned for safety reasons in most running races, whereas 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗆𝗆 make ones that are allowed. Open-ear headphones help you hear the world around you. They're excellent if you're crossing roads when running, cycling, or just walking about outside and training. But for me, the main benefit is they help me avoid ear issues. As I found out, putting headphones inside your ear while sweating for long durations and then working all day isn't the most hygienic, especially if you often get ear issues like me. With 𝗕𝗫𝗍𝗆𝗆𝗆 open ear design, this isn't a problem. They offer a more secure and comfortable fit, so you don't have to worry about them falling out when you work out. I've brought their running specific ones in the past. However, I've since been using the new OpenFit 2 Plus, since it has better sound quality while still being an open ear model, making them better suited to listening to stuff for longer durations, while running, walking, and working out. They last up to 11 hours on a charge, and 48 hours with the case. so much longer than most other headphones. So if you're a runner, cyclist, or just tired of putting damn plastic in your ears, check out Shocks at the link below. The Shocks 2 Plus have just released, and they're genuinely my favourite Shocks product yet. I'll keep the link in the description up to date, so you get the best possible deal. You'll be supporting your ears and this channel.
We're all gonna fucking make it, bro, that's it.
The forum allowed users to share advice, crazy stories, and interact with each other. If you acted a fool, you'd end up with negative rep, while helping people would earn you positive rep. It was a wild mix of advice, support, and chaos.
I got 99 problems, but a beta ain't one. I got 99 problems, but a beta ain't one. Come at me, Misc.
I'm traumatized by this.
A place where lifters from around the world would come together, share progress, and hype each other up. Sometimes a little too much. Compliments like thick, solid, tight were thrown around. It was often unintentionally homoerotic, but completely sincere.
This is the official call out for Zzz and his crew. This is a body to kill for. This is aesthetics.
And of course, there were memes. Endless trolling, and moments that became internet legend. Like the time a user sent an email to 𝗪𝗵𝘁 to ask if he was natural, to which Ronnie replied,
"No, I take that there 𝗪𝗱𝗆𝗃."
Instantly, that there 𝗪𝗱𝗃 became the forum's go-to slang for steroids. There was also the time the user 𝗕cie dropped the now iconic insult that would echo throughout gym culture for decades. Do you even lift? And then there was Bad Boy 2, an 18-year-old who posted his photo asking, "Do I have potential?" The forum responded by photoshopping him in every ridiculous situation imaginable. Doing the splits, getting grinded on, and having his potential assessed by scientists. There was also the controversial thread, Operation Ghost Bulk, in which a user broke up with his girlfriend for supposedly cheating, but they still lived together, so he began switching her way for mass gainer while documenting the progress. There was also the user by the name of 𝗕ṛeamer, who documented his aggressive bulking progress. This led to the term 𝗕ṛeamer bulk, getting fat under the pretense of bulking. But nothing came close to what many call the dumbest argument in internet history. A thread where bodybuilders seriously debated how many days are in a week. What started as a simple disagreement over a training split spiraled into a full-blown philosophical meltdown, spanning over 120 posts across multiple days. It got so out of hand, someone even made a documentary about it. It was titled fittingly, "The Dumbest Boy Alive." Back then, the gym was still a niche world, and this was the biggest online community for both entertainment and advice.
Someone says, "Well, I went to college too. I'm successful. I'm posting under a fake name because I have a lot to lose." That is his mistake. You do have a lot to lose. Body fat.
When I first joined as a 108-pound teenager, some guys convinced me that I needed to try something called GOMAD, where you drink a gallon of milk a day to bulk up. But the congregation of nearly 18 million gym bros did a lot more than just overload toilets, because soon, the chaos spilling out of the forum wouldn't just be memes and milk, it would catch the attention of federal investigators.
You know, the FBI would come into my office and say, "Hey, you guys have somebody on your forum that said they're going to kill the president, and we need to get information on who this is."
There were some unhinged members on the bodybuilding forum. While many were trolling, some were mentally unstable, with no better example than Elliot Rogers.
The sheriff of Santa Barbara, California, calls it a case of premeditated mass murder, and a Hollywood filmmaker says his son was the gunman.
He was a frequent poster on the bodybuilding forum, sharing what people referred to as serial killer-esque videos and opinions.
"You forced me to suffer all my life, and now I'll make you all suffer."
The trolling he endured online in the years leading up to a tragic ending didn't help matters. But in truth, it could have happened on any platform. Social media was a lawless place. Still, the cracks in the bodybuilding.com world were beginning to show long before that. One of the biggest blows came when the FDA launched Operation Raw Deal. Bodybuilding.com, the most trusted supplement retailer at the time, was investigated. Undercover agents purchased several products from the site and found they were laced with anabolic steroids. So in May 2012, Bodybuilding.com was fined $7 million, and its CEO, Ryan DeLuca, along with his brother Jeremy, were personally fined $600,000 for selling misbranded drugs. It was a scandal that shook the fitness world, which wasn't helped by the fact that just a couple years later, scientists tested their supplements again. This time, it was their supplement of the year, after it is perhaps working a bit too well.
And they say they found a chemical in Craze that is a cousin to methamphetamine.
But truth be told, this only encouraged more people to try it and buy it, before bodybuilding.com eventually recalled the product. This wasn't exactly shocking to gym goers. The bodybuilding.com site had a section dedicated to steroids.
Your child could easily get this information from a computer at your local library. And I'm going to show you how, with just 3 clicks of a mouse, your child can find information on how to make steroids at home right in your kitchen.
The main responses to videos like this were, "Do you even lift, bro?" And "Your kids can also Google how to make a bomb. What's your point?" But most people, myself included, still chose bodybuilding.com over Amazon, not for the prices, but the information and the brand. Even if some supplements were sketchy, the value was in the information, the community, and the culture. Despite the scandals, it remained the mecca of online fitness. Everything 𝗪𝗽𝗲 had dreamed of. By 2014, it was pulling in nearly $500 million a year. So when it all came crashing down, many people never saw it coming. After a decade of building, 𝗪𝗽𝗲 sold a controlling stake to Liberty Media for $100 million to secure his family's future. Liberty, a major player behind brands like QVC, took over, but 𝗪𝗽𝗲 stayed on as CEO until 2015, when he eventually stepped down and announced his resignation. My passion was fitness and business, and all I wanted to do, night and day, was work on creating the kind of company that I'd want as a customer. I didn't really do anything for fun. I worked, and I loved nearly every single minute of it. That's when things began to shift. New management came in and ordered mass layoffs, aiming to restructure the company for profitability.
It seems to have been a rough day here at the company's headquarters, with employees finding out that they no longer have a job.
Employees and customers alike began to feel a shift. One longtime photographer recalled, "They stopped going to shows, figured everybody already knew who we were. The content lost its spark, payments to ambassadors became unreliable, and the free programs were moved behind a paywall." The focus felt less like community and more like profit. Directionless, the brand changed hands multiple times, until in 2022, it landed with someone you might recognize.
I just bought bodybuilding.com, 9-figure e-commerce business. Here in my garage.
Bodybuilding.com's market share diminished, but for many, the final nail in the coffin was an email sent out on September 19, 2024. The forum was suddenly shut down. Old links now lead to a message: "We're building new ways to connect our global community." Meanwhile, 𝗪𝗽𝗲 moved on, co-founding a virtual reality gym startup. Maybe bodybuilding.com's decline was inevitable, caught between Amazon, social media, and a shifting market. Maybe better monetization could have saved it. Recent articles suggest they have plans to relaunch with a multi-year strategy to become the #1 source for health and fitness once more, which would be great to see. But Ryan's edge was never marketing tricks, it was a genuine passion to build something for the community.
One of the #1 ways that humans adhere to new things or start new habits is through their social communities, the norms that are around them.
Bodybuilding.com wasn't just a place to buy supplements, it was where millions of people took their first step, where awkward beginners asked dumb questions, and strangers actually helped. The forums are gone, the site isn't what it used to be, but bodybuilding.com helped shape a generation. That community might not exist in one place anymore, but the mindset and legacy it built lives on.
Hey man, you ready to get deep? Well, let's begin then.
Do you even lift?
I'm not saying you're dreamer bulking.
So yeah, I decided to start training.
Guess who I'm doing an ad here not on? None other than the President of the United States, Donald Trump.